Just imagine, what if a single change, like one key, could turn two people's lives upside down? You might not have seen such twists even in movies. The story begins on a rainy night, where we see a man dressed in plastic gloves and a plastic suit. But he isn't wearing it to protect himself from the rain, he's wearing it to leave no evidence behind. Next, we see a man in a suit, walking past the car with an umbrella. When the killer steps out of the vehicle, he stabs the man in the stomach and kills him before hiding the body in the car's trunk. Afterward, the killer removes his suit in the car, revealing his true face. This professional assassin's name is Jack. He checks his watch, sees the time, and drives off at the right moment. The next morning, we meet a young man named Harry, who is very frustrated with his life. He wants to be an actor but can't find any work. He's broke and disillusioned with life. Just then, his landlady knocks on his door, saying she's brought noodles for him. Harry tries to ignore her, but when he hears noodles, he can't resist. He opens the door, and his landlady starts yelling at him for not paying the rent for months. She demands the rent by tomorrow morning or threatens to evict him. She then tells him to take a shower, as the whole house smells like sewage. Harry heads to a public sauna to clean up, where he encounters Jack, who is cleaning blood off his hands in the wash basin. Harry notices Jack's expensive watch and realizes that Jack must be very wealthy. After a while, Jack enters the sauna as well, and Harry accidentally drops the soap. As Jack approaches, he slips on the soap and falls hard, hitting his head on the ground, knocking him unconscious. The locker key slips from Jack's hand and lands at Harry's feet. Harry, along with others, checks on Jack, then bends down to return the locker key but changes his mind and switches the key with his own. Later, when Jack is taken to the hospital, Harry goes to the locker room, opens Jack's locker, and his eyes shine with excitement as he finds Jack's expensive suit. He wears it and walks out. Harry then goes straight to his landlady and pays her all the rent money he owes. He also repays everyone from whom he had borrowed money. Eventually, he drives off in Jack's expensive car, wondering if all of this is a dream, and soon he'll wake up. The next day, Harry decides to return everything to Jack at the hospital, but when he arrives, he finds that Jack is calling him by name. Jack's memory has been affected due to the head injury, and the doctors have mistakenly told him that his name is Harry. Once Harry realizes this, he panics and leaves quickly. Later, Jack leaves the hospital but realizes he doesn't have enough money to pay his bill. A paramedic named Lena takes pity on him and decides to pay the bill for him. Jack, who has no memory of who he is or what he does, thanks Lena and promises to repay her. Lena takes him home and asks for his name and age, but Jack doesn't know how old he is. He looks at his papers and learns that he's only 32. But Lena is surprised because he looks much older. Meanwhile, Harry tracks Jack's address and finds a luxurious house. He's astonished by the wealth he sees. He was born poor, and now he's seeing so much luxury for the first time. Inside the house, he finds military and police uniforms, and a collection of expensive items, as well as fake ID cards and passports. Harry realizes that Jack has lived a very different life than he imagined. Lena and Jack, following Jack's address, arrive at Harry's house and are shocked by its condition. Jack doesn't understand why he's living there, but then Lena hears news of an accident on the radio, and she rushes out. Jack wants to return the money he owes, but Lena tells him they can meet later. Harry, meanwhile, is relaxing in Jack's luxurious house and turns on the TV, but instead of the usual channels, a live video of a girl from the neighborhood practicing yoga appears. Jack is still trying to understand more about his life, and he talks to neighbors, but they think he's just a salesman. Later, he encounters a stranger who gets angry when Jack questions him. In a surprising turn, Jack's limbs move on their own, and he defends himself. He's confused by what's happening. When Lena comes back to check on him, she finds him laying on the floor, coughing. He was trying to smoke a cigarette but struggled to do so. She suggests he stop trying if he's having trouble. Jack mentions that there were many cigarettes in the house, so he thought he might smoke them. Lena spends more time with him and realizes that Jack is good with knives, so she takes him to her aunt's restaurant. Though initially, Lena's aunt didn't want to hire him, she agrees after some persuasion, but only if Jack speaks kindly and smiles more so that customers won't leave. Meanwhile, Harry continues to investigate Jack's house and finds even more hidden money, bottles of expensive alcohol, knives, and more fake IDs. Harry also sees a board with detailed information about the girl named Ju, who he believes must be a key witness in a case. He tries to track her down and eventually finds her practicing a fall routine after hitting her head. Harry follows the noise and realizes that Ju must live in the building above. After a brief interaction with Ju, who is uninterested in him, Harry's suspicions grow stronger. Jack, meanwhile, becomes a skilled chef at the restaurant, and as his talent for making new dishes becomes known, the restaurant fills with customers. A few days later, Lena visits Jack and tells him that he will receive his first paycheck on the 25th. Jack checks the calendar but realizes that the date is from the previous month. When he flips the page, he remembers that he needs to go somewhere the next day. On the day he arrives at the location, he meets a man who's gathering actors for a set. Jack, now living Henry's life, joins them. However, his first day on set is full of mistakes, and the hero of the show becomes jealous. When Jack tries to fight back, the director is impressed by his skills, and Jack is given another opportunity. The next Thursday, Ju is again waiting for someone, but the person doesn't show up. Meanwhile, Jack struggles to memorize lines during filming but performs well during the action scene, impressing everyone with his fighting skills. His episode airs on TV, and the restaurant customers start recognizing him. As Jack's popularity grows, Harry tries to get closer to Ju, eventually gaining her trust and affection. Jack's shooting schedule continues, but the hero grows more resentful and jealous. During a fight scene, he strikes Jack with a stick, but Jack, despite his anger, simply smiles and asks if the scene was good. Meanwhile, Harry follows Ju to the hospital, trying to protect her, and notices a man following her, whom he recognizes from Jack's files. Harry takes action to protect Ju. As Jack's career rises, his past starts catching up with him. He remembers everything, including his true identity as a professional killer. He decides to confront Ju, and Harry, fearing Jack's intentions, tries to stop him. However, Jack reveals the truth about his past, explaining that he would warn people before their deaths, making them fake their deaths to escape. Jack, while pretending to be a killer, did it to save lives. Jack tells Lena that he's remembered everything, and now he needs to leave. Though Lena is upset, she eventually accepts it. Later, Jack, Lena, Harry, and Ju meet in a warehouse, where Jack executes a plan to make it seem like they all die so they can escape their dangerous pasts. In a final twist, Jack's true nature is revealed, and the story concludes with a complex web of deception, love, and survival, leaving everyone questioning what is real and what is not.